this is Mackenzie. Hey, this is Owen. Don't forget to like our show and subscribe.
This podcast is brought to you by the Love and Kindness Project Foundation. What is one thing that you could do to think, speak, or act kindly today? Go to loveandkindnessproject.org to learn more. Before we begin this podcast, if you or someone you know is in crisis or needs emotional support, there are tools that can help. So get yourself a pen and paper or open a note-taking app on your phone or computer. Feel free to pause this episode while you get yourself ready. The episode starts at 1 minute and 6 seconds. You can call Talk Suicide Canada at 1-833-456-4566. You can text 45645, which is coming in the fall of 2023. In Canada, you can also call 988, the Kids Help Phone at 1-800-668-6868. The Trans Lifeline in Canada is 1-877-330-6366. And in the United States, 1-877-565-8860, or call 911. You are not alone, and you do not have to be alone. I would like to honor and recognize the traditional and unceded territories of the Katzie, Kwantlen, and Semiahmoo nations on whose territory I live, work, and play. Welcome to We Are the ADHD Family Podcast. This podcast is meant to chronicle our journey with ADHD, autism, and other discoveries along the way. I reach out to advocates, experts, individuals, and other families that want to raise their voices and empower those on their journey. My name is Mark Smeets, and I am passionate about removing barriers for others through creating connections and building on strengths and practical problem solving. I am married to Siobhan, a parent to 2 wonderful kids, and all of us have ADHD. I want you to feel like you have power and hope. And now, into the episode. Welcome to We Are the ADHD Family. I'm your awesome host, Mark Smeets, and this is going to be a short one. This might be the shortest episode ever, but I'm starting it with awesome news. You would have hopefully seen my presentation that I did to the City of Surrey for the sensory-friendly swim times. Well, I got the phone call yesterday from the city's aquatic manager that they are starting the work and starting to figure out the process and what they're supposed to be doing. So I am beyond over the moon at this point. And I could not I would have recorded this yesterday, but I wanted to have something up because I'm still smiling, which is a whole other story. So I think one thing I want to do is, so you can hear the excitement in my voice. What I'm going to do is, you've seen the presentation, and in an episode later on, what I want to do is I want to break down the sort of the advocacy process and things that I went through, so that if somebody else is hearing this and they're like, oh, how did you do that? I want that to resonate. I want those steps to be in there, because that's what this whole podcasting is about. Anyways, I can share a couple details from the conversation I had when he introduced himself and everything. I mean, obviously I was caught off guard because I wasn't expecting that to happen. But I think what was really cool was that procedural wise, they're going to be reaching out to, in our city, we have this, it's a committee called the Healthy Communities Committee, I believe. And they're the quote unquote experts, but they're going to reach out to them. They're going to be doing consultation with them. They're going to be doing consultation with a few other groups as well. And then they're coming back to me, and everybody's getting looped together. But I was really curious to know where, like, everything that I put together. I know I had a huge presentation. And this is ridiculously big. And there's I know I've said this before, my piece of advice is to split these things up. Separate your ask from sort of the facts and details and education piece. Just make it easier for people. Anyways, I keep losing my train of thought. But what was cool, the cool part, was I asked him, were there details that I missed? Was there something that I didn't understand? Did I phrase something better? Could I have phrased something better? Did the examples I give land? Because he has a copy of the presentation. And he basically said to me, number one, that he was shocked at how detailed it was. And number two, how accurate it was. And like that to me is where I'm just going, yes, I did it. And it's such a empowering feeling to know that I understood the process and I saw things the way that they're supposed to be. It's amazing. He really appreciated the fact that I went to the level of detail that I did, because things, for example, the sensory schedule, the way I broke that down in that one slide, he goes, that explained everything he needed to know and understand and grasp in his head. And I was just like, funny enough, that was the one slide I wasn't a fan of. But anyways, I just thought it could have been laid out and designed better. But it got the job done, obviously, and that's what makes sense. So simple is always best. There's other little things in there, like the signs in the bathroom and putting the paper towels down. There's a couple times where he said to me, this is simple. We can do this. This should not be hard. And I'm like, exactly what my point was throughout the entire presentation. So anyways, there's the good news. I am still collecting my thoughts. I am still really, really happy. And I'm looking at my clock right now. It's like 9:15 this morning, and that's about the same time I got the phone call yesterday. So that's all that's going to be in this for an episode. I've got next week, which I can't remember what the date is for next week, but what's going to be awesome is, let's look at the calendar there. So October 9th and 16th, there's my 2 episodes with Karen Ross, and that's going to be awesome because that's centered all around kindness. And if you don't know who Karen is, she started off, she's known very well in the process improvement world, but she's also the one behind the Love and Kindness Project Foundation, who is helping support. We're supporting each other in this, because you have to do it kind. You have to advocate with kindness. You got to do it. After that, I'm working on an episode about ADHD and the workplace, and I began to work on that yesterday, and now I'm gonna have to throw this one into the mix. So it's a couple cool things coming up, and I'm just beyond excited and jazzed and everything right now. So wherever you are, don't stop advocating. Keep fighting what you believe is important. And when you're doing it for others, you are fighting to make the world a better place. And don't give up, ever.
Thank you for listening to our show.
If you're hearing this message, you've reached the end of the episode. And for that, I want to say thank you. I hope you have enjoyed what you've heard and are walking away with newfound knowledge.
We are the ADHD family.
See you soon for a new episode. I have 3 things to ask of you. Number 1, if you have any comments, questions, or guest ideas, please leave a comment on the Facebook page. Number 2, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It helps people find us. And number 3, if you want to be a guest on the show or know someone who would make a great guest, contact me through our Facebook page. This podcast is open to everyone. You don't need to be an expert, just passionate and want to see change. The opinions expressed by the host and guest are not associated with any employer or organization unless otherwise stated. medical information on this site and podcast is provided as an information resource only and is not to be used or relied on for any diagnostic or treatment purposes. This information does not create any patient-physician relationship and should not be used as a substitute for a professional diagnosis and treatment. Please consult your healthcare provider before making any healthcare decisions or guidance about a specific medical condition. The show, host, and its guests expressly disclaim responsibility and shall have no liability for any damages, loss, injury, or liability whatsoever suffered as a result of your reliance on the information contained in this site or show. By visiting this site and listening to this show, you agree to the terms and conditions, which may from time to time change or be supplemented by the show host.